Take time. Look for the signs of spring blossoming and growth growing, new life unfolding. Observe anything alive. Gather evidence with all of your senses. Take time and look for the signs. Take time. Look for the signs of spring blossoming, growth growing. Observe anything alive and gather evidence with all of your senses. Gather evidence of things alive. Stand in awe, walk in awe. Willow pilgrims, move around. Allow yourself some time to arrive. Explore the space, embrace the grace of a new dawning day. And if you have great Wi-Fi and a tree nearby or a garden outside, please go there until the signal dies. Or if you are wired up and hiding inside, take a plant and create and decorate a little landscape where it looks like a tree can come alive. Let this half hour be a forest of willow trees where we weep or just be and grow free. Please move around. Show us your trees. Put on your cameras, show us your plants, the roots, the leaves. Let's embark on a journey and look for God's fingerprints in creation, in nature, in growing things. And yes, please, share your images, decor, places, garden, trees, and webcam with the community. Let's create moving images and bring movement into the Zoom frames. Do not hide your face, or if you are really camera shy and skeptic, then show us your feet or your hands and let your hands dance with the elements. And you don't have to sit still, nor have to look serious. Just be open for possibilities and sharing. The wine of the divine between the glass fibers online. Let the evergreen spirit awaken our minds. First take a walk move around, come home in this forest of freaks, in this shadow of a willow tree. Take time and look for the signs of spring blossoming and growth growing, new life unfolding. Observe anything alive and gather evidences with all of your senses. And we have already begun, but we will soon begin. Willow, welcome in. Keep slowly moving like a circle pit in the slowest motion, like waves in the ocean, like a forest growing. Come home, Willow. Come out and play, contemplate, come out and pray. And all the good stuff is at the end. But it just takes time to grow there, so bear with me. And share with me. And children came out to play as well. So please, feel at home. Don't be scared of the poetry or the mostly English words coming out of me. I am just a guide in this forest. Just look around, take notes or mental pictures of what you see and stay rooted in what you feel. This is just a journey and exploration on community as a tree, community as trees, and the cross as a tree. Cross-pollination between fruitful images from the Bible and the connections we see. Pick out and pick up whatever you think speaks to your soul. Can you hear me right, Ellie? Okay. Willow trees, together one forest breathing. Are you ready to explore? Are you lost? In beauty, in nature, in questions, in tangled webs. Come let us root together. Oh no. What did you hear? Did you hear anything at all? No way. Oh, okay, a minute. Okay. That's cool. I will just do that minute then. So welcome in. As we all are playing, children are playing, welcome in. Keep moving like a circle pit in the slowest motion. Like waves in the ocean. Like the forest growing. Come out and play, contemplate, come out and pray. Feel at home, don't be scared of the poetry, mostly English words coming out of me. I'm just a guide in this forest, just look around. Take mental pictures of what you see, take notes, stay rooted in what you feel. This is just a journey, an exploration on community as trees. The cross as a tree, cross-pollinating. Between fruitful images from the Bible and the connections we see, pick out and pick up whatever you think speaks to your soul. Willow tree, together one forest breathing. Are you ready to explore? Are you lost in beauty, in nature, or in questions? Tangled webs. Come, let us root together. Let's create this space where we can flow together. From our still waters to the streams of life, from the wanted stillness to the unwanted quiet. The way we light up screens differently to the bundles of light. To the bundles of light we are in real life. You are meant to be. You are meant to be. You are called to be you and even become you deep and deeper. Every one of us wired, rooted, uniquely breathe in deep. Let the everlasting ruach breath fill up your lungs, and may the wind of the Spirit give you wings under your ribs. We are all here this morning, fragile skins, our bones easily broken, and a hope that something fruitful grows out of this shit, that the poop fertilizes things, and that early mornings like this will connect us deeper, despite the screens and pixels. We are rivers of life, and water slides standing still, passers by and movers on. Oh, how we want to outgrow the ego. We want to unlock our downs and break through the screens. Cancel the quarantine and break the distance between us and embrace what makes us human beings. We embrace the grace that has changed everything to restore that connection. Let us pray. Divine nearness, if you hear this, would you break the distance? Push walls to cave in with your light, enter in, break through our screen, unpixel your mercy. And Jesus, if you still have that stick you used to write with in the sand, will you use it to pinch our bubbles? Open us so we may cuddle with the antibodies of Christ. May we figure out how you've transfigured with divine brightness. We'd love to reflect that light. Pull the strings of our spirit, pull the strings of your spirit to bring us closer into this. And may this be a space of grace, a temporary online temple to show your face as we show ours. Let us be vessels to pour in your hope or help the truth sink in. Rip our rib cages open and find dwelling in our collective hearts. Amen. We are trees, freaks, and weird beings. We are chosen people from different dots on the maps of Germany and beyond. We connect through satellite and fibers optic so we can see eye to eye. Stir up our fires, ground and land in our waylands. To share our light and lives, root our hearts in communication, to cross paths with the bigger picture and zoom in. Wir wandern und wir walden zusammen. Wir wurzeln uns in, was uns Halt und Bindung gibt. Even though we sit but a pixel and the glory is veiled in a riddle, we want to be stewards of this mystery, where grace takes a giant leap. Wir kuratieren und bewahren die Rätseln. Gnade nimmt einen Glaubenssprung. And I invite you to step out of the idea of cornered realities, out of the box ideas. Step out of the squares of pixels and screens, curved edges, and curve these edges with me, for we are a community. To be part of an everlasting echo of hope that is, was, and will be, making ripple effects. Will you make these ripple effects with me? Ripple effects on timelines of humanity. You are part of that rooted circle that keeps beginning fresh. Emmanuel spring, eternal lens, the I am that I am, from past to hopeful future tense. That circle, that community, that circle is also a letter O. And O is an eternal line. We have no beginning nor ends, so let us represent this circle. Diese Kreise. Macht ein Kreis. Show a circle. Create circular movements with your arms, with your hands, with your fingers, with your eyes, with your hips or your legs. Let us remember that Jesus Freaks is a movement. So bring that circle into movement. We should not be stuck. We should not be glued nor stuck. We want to move, grow and wonder. Wir haben Wanderlust. Wandeln mit Verändern. Der Wind, die Wände sich ändern. Pfingsten fangen. Signs and wonders of wandering. The unpredictable dance of the wandering wind. And John 3 verse 8 has such an image. The wind blows wherever it pleases. You hear its sound, but you cannot tell where it's coming from or where it's going. This is how it is with all who are born of the Spirit. They're like a wandering wind. See, your human body is held down by the laws of physics and force of gravity. But please, your soul needs to wander in inner landscapes to keep your spirit free and stay open to discovery. Mensch, wo bist du? Man, where are you? Kind, wo warst du denn? Willow, please stand up if you are willing to engage with me and the freak community. Be aware of your body wanting to hide in the ground and behind leaves. In the Garden of Eden, where the beginning began, God is asking humans, where are you? Show yourself. The voice makes you tremble because shame will not reassemble the broken pieces of unclothed grief. Form a naked and unashamed man and lady between the Tigris and the Euphrates. There were two trees to consider in this paradise lost. There was one tree of life, and the other tree, knowledge of good and evil, and its fruits were forbidden. Human beings were picking what we shouldn't have. We always want what the others have until we pick fruits, until trees are left empty. We seize the day until all the growth is plucked away. Human beings, have we ever really changed? To all the trees whose DNA we resemble, ask forgiveness for the way we humans treat life every day. The abundance we fake, The seasons left with bad taste and the woods we waste. Forgive us our disposable lungs. Stay rooted and strong. May you find freedom. Now sit as slow motion as you can. Sit down like rooting into the ground. And may our shame find a way to be buried now. Let's plant something new. What if every tree was a church tower? They point upwards, towers of natures. The leaves sing worship songs through the whistling of the wind. The branches are veins in the air, reaching out like antennas to knock on heaven's door. Fruits of the Spirit, from bud to bloom, to branch out the Garden of Eden again. And if you have a tree or a plant close to you or in your fantasy, see the air behind it and the sky above it. How high would this tree be? How old would this tree be? And at what time this morning did the tree get its first ray of sunshine? And how wide is the tree branched? How many leaves will it carry at the end of summer? How many new circles in its trunk and years gathered? And how much leaves will it lose in autumn when the wind has a firm blow in October? Observe the tree. And if you have the possibility, lay down in the grass, or just imagine you would be laying down on the ground. Lass dich quer liegen, cross the ground, and turn your eyes to the sky, towards the light, and see the tree growing there in the highest peak, peeking into heaven's things, like an antenna receiving messages from the Spirit's wind. May the grass carry you, and through the earths of all of the depth, all of the earth layers. And now that the ground has got your back between the floor or in the grass, think of how deep the tree has dug into the ground. And how have the roots found their root and way into the deepest of dark clay? Is the tree just as big and wide underground as it is on the upside? Trees under the earth find ways to burst through the darkest of darkness, to anchor against storms and to root and find something new that nourishes. And they find each other, grow together as an underground network of aliveness. In our wanderings, we only see the lonely trees, but under the bottom, there is a forest that will not let go of each other. They will help and carry each other, communicate with bacteria, fungus, and humus. They shape a way through the clay. And where do they find the light? In the pitch black and unlit, this fertile, inverted space. How do they dare to grow into this darkish underworld before they pop up into the light, grow towards the sky? Have they ever lost ways in the labyrinths of clay? Who has learned them how to communicate with each other, or how to relate with total different species made? How astonishing and amazing trees are it is said that trees and human DNA have similarities and are kind of the same. And we take ages to root and find a place. But what if roots are grown like Ubuntu in this freaky network of faith? Because I am in the I am, you can be and grow your own way. We feed each other living words, water, and above all, space. Rooting and berufung. We are called in different ways, in different fruits and leaves, and sometimes caught in different seasons. And the tunnels are dark and long, but through it we grow strong. And a seed has to break itself open out of its safe shell, surrender itself to a bigger plan, letting go of this for the sake of growth. And if you want to endure the light, we need to be rooted through the hummus, through the shit, through the pain, through the suffering, to gain growth towards the sun. If we want to endure the light, we need to be rooted through the hummus, through the shit, through the pain and suffering. And this is the tension of the beauty of Christianity. The way it deals with pain and suffering in the core, the heart of it being the embrace of pain, all for the sake of change, turning things around from the ground up. Metamorphosis like Japanese faces broken, glued with something golden, and now more so unique to the eyes of the beholder. The cross was an icon of torture, and now a symbol of something hopeful. The tensions between dark and light, suffering and healing, are now forever together woven. See, a cross and a tree have so much in common. A cross and a tree have so much in common. They are cut from the same wood, rooted in utter darkness. To break through the light, from free will, Jesus chose to gather all the pain from the circle of his heart in a garden between the trees of Gethsemane, which literally means olive oil pressed. And he felt left alone and repressed, pushed to the edge, but gathered all his courage to take the cross on his back, and the cross was cut from a tree, like an access of mercy and a turning point in time. Physical endured pain carried throughout the ages like roots under the earth, connected, the heaviness of death unstinged. And through the wounds light and healing entered in, a kingdom of heaven crossing faith seeds to create new grace patterns. Wood cut out does not conduct electricity, but when there is lightning, you better not stand under that tree. It is life-threatening, for it can strike, and we want to grow real fast. But what if we would grow real slow? Take a minute to grow slowly. Put your arm up. Put your arms up and slowly grow from your knuckles, from your fist. Unclench it in slow motion. Unfold your fingers and grow your feathered leaves. And lightning can strike easy where it finds the highest tree. Like a tree that catches the lightning, maybe a cross caught all the flashes, the tensions of shame and sin that in that electrical unloading, heaven and earth were unpolarized. In a stroboscopic ray of eternal and electrical light that the powers that be between God and people unloaded and discharged. And the curtain of distance torn, and the bricks that boxed us in rolled away. Hope is no longer caved in. The curtain of distance torn, the bricks that boxed us in rolled away. Hope no longer caved in. You are free to stay. And when Mary Magdalene was looking for the grave and the tomb where Jesus was buried, she was confused. It was empty. And where did they bring his body to? Walking through the garden, she bumped into what she thought was a gardener. And maybe she read growth in his eyes. Or maybe he planted seeds for a new kingdom to grow from mustard seeds to an interconnected forest high and wide. But the gardener was Jesus. He was resurrected and alive. Resurrected and alive. The wounds and scars that pain leaves behind are the places used by the light to shine. So roll your stones away. Let's build from them something alive. Let us all slowly rise and move. Take an arm and a fist, unclench them and move. Whatever holds you, let go. Root deeper into the ground and blossom out. Let us slowly rise. Roll the tensions away. Give the grace some space and grow your own way. The Christian core of resurrection in the fall and rise goes right through your obstacles, turns death into life, to free and release the light, to shine from our inside. It doesn't promise safe, nor life without pain. The gospel is not cement between walls, but breaks through with seasoned life and salted light. At the end of the Bible, there's a tree of life. And somewhere in the middle, in Ezekiel 47, water streams from a temple. And where the water flows, there is a biodiversity of growth. And the trees that always promises fruit. The stream comes alive because the laid-off stones make it wild. And in Psalm 1, we humans are compared to trees planted next to that stream. We are bearing fruits and always blossoming, if we consider the complexities that growth bring. Ephesians 3, we are rooted in love. We can sow seed of the glory and explore the dimensions of connection and love in the width and length, depth and height. If we are rooted and stringed together, underground in that love without an end, we can grow closer to that light, Let us share some sparks this morning and come alive and dance, if you will, to celebrate the seed of life, this tree of life, in connection with what is deep and what is high. We can grow in mercy and glow with grace. I found a forest that feels like a home. No bricks, no walls, they are cold. Jesus freaks and they are called to be that connection with the light of the world, the salt with the earth, new man beings in different seasons trying to grow. And if we look under the soil, it looks messy because of all the direction our roots decided to grow. But under the ground, our roots have grown into each other and feed each other's soul. And this forest is spread out to different places, different forms, a biodiversity of people that blossom. Nothing can separate us from the real love. Nothing can divide us from the trust. Nothing can distance us from the hope. And nothing can break us apart from the grace now. If you have a little seed somewhere today, plant it somewhere in a special place or in a garden of a special person. And you can do that secretly if you have to. Where or for whom do you want to grow something new? And root that way so you can carry each other's pain. Or if that person is still in a dark place, push the seed in a dark clay, and may something new grow from it someday. Make a ritual out of it and wave when you pass by some or each day. For one person might plant a seed, the other person waters them. But God is taking care of the growth and photosynthesis. So it will sprout up from the darkness, it will sprout up from the darkness, and towards the light it will grow. The grace it will know. We are trees in the shadow of the tree of life. A forest of freaks interlinked in the underground. So wave your branches, do your dances, and grow into something deep. Wave your branches and do your dances, and let all the trees in the field clap their hands. All the trees in the field will clap their hands. All the trees in the fields will clap their hands. All the trees in the fields will clap their hands. All the trees in the fields will clap their hands. All the trees in the fields will clap their hands. All the trees in the fields will clap their hands. trees will clap their hands. All the silence is making a breakfast. All the trees in the fields will clap their hands. Amen.